welcome to POCCA Cape Cod. Hi, my name is Laura Kelly. Today we're coming to you from LCTV in Eastham at Nauset School. I'm the 11th generation, born and raised here on the Cape, and being here, I think about the future for the next 11 generations. So I thought I'd throw together a couple shows and bring some valuable information to our local audiences on different topics of things that we can do every single day that'll lessen our impact on our aquifer. Water is a source of life, and we've got to protect it. I believe that because we, live where we drink, it's like an extra responsibility for us. So today I've brought a couple of guests from the Chatham area, I believe. I'll let you guys answer in a second if I'm wrong. But I actually was just driving around in Harwich one day, and I found a sign on the side of the road. And I turned around and I went back and grabbed the number and gave them a call. And I'm really impressed by what they have to offer all of us. And today's show is going to be about mosquito and other outdoor pests control. So all naturally, though. So let's introduce our guests. Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us. It's great to be here.
And Brian?
Yep. So my name is Brian Whittemore, and I'm co-founder of Pure Solutions. And this is Rory Nickerson, and he is our Chatham rock star and GM, manages Cape Cod and Martha's Vineyard.
Great. So how did you guys think of this?
Well, I mean, honestly, it's become such a large issue. Lyme disease, threats of vector-borne illnesses, mosquito-borne illnesses. We are big-time outdoor enthusiasts. We love being outside and playing in the woods and, hanging out in the woods and barbecuing and, being around, nature. So, for us, it was really about kind of being able to still carry out and do those things without having to, suffer the consequences or the threats that are, around from or caused by, ticks and mosquitoes specifically. So, we kind of focused on, different sprays and applications that we could do for people's properties and residences, and, found a series of essential oils that would do it very well and, not harm beneficial insects like bees and pollinators, and which is super important. So, it took a lot of research, a lot of time, and we were able to kind of develop out a service that would kind of solve those problems.
So where did you guys originate? Was it off Cape then?
Yes. So originally, I'm personally from Wayland, Massachusetts, and the company was started in Weston, which is right next door. We've had such a great success up there, and solving people's problems on their property and giving them back their outdoors in their backyards and allowing their kids to go out and play without having to worry about the threats that are out there. And we saw a great opportunity down here in the Cape because it's such a huge issue down here, even more so than up in the Metro West area. So we got in contact with this guy. He comes highly referred to us by my cousin and her boyfriend, and they were actually on the same hockey team together in college. So
nice.
Yes.
So you live here in Chatham, and you're...
I do. I'm a 14th generation Cape Cod.
So what does that mean, technically?
You
guys had sex more often than we did.
That's yet to be determined. But so my last name is Nickerson, and I grew up in Chatham. The Nickersons of Chatham. So you know, it seemed like a really simple idea that these guys are going with, and when my friend told me about it, you know, it got me really excited. I had a bout with Lyme's disease, kind of knocked me back a while. I think every single person knows somebody that had something to do with Lyme's, and now it's getting to be an even bigger problem with a lot more tick-borne illnesses.
Has the population of ticks increased since you've been playing around with this topic?
Yeah, I mean, exponentially. It increases every year. I mean, every female tick can lay up to about 3,000 eggs. So
even this winter, when it was so cold for so long, do you think
yes,
they're going to come back full force?
Yeah, these ticks are quite engineered very well. They kind of
have an armor on them.
Yeah, they kind of synthesize their own antifreeze, so to speak. So they just kind of go into hibernation. As soon as it goes above freezing, then they're completely active again, and they are coming out in full force.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was actually reading an article that was saying that due to the extreme cold and the snowpack that we had this winter, it actually helped insulate the ticks a little bit better. So just when you think, you know, we're all good, we're going to be in a better position in the spring because all the cold, you go and read something like that, and that, you know, unfortunately isn't
all the more
great.
reason to take care of your property without toxins. If the increase of pests are going to be, you know, bigger than usual, they're called pests for a reason, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So what we need to do is figure out alternatives. What is out there that, you know, can still get the point across without, like you said, hurting the beneficial insects? And tell us what you guys do. What is your kind of secret formulas to playing around with this fine line in nature?
Yeah, it is a fine line, and you know, we have done a lot of work, you know, and trying to research different things that, you know, would work for us, different products that are known to have, you know, knockdown and kill effects on ticks and mosquitoes, as well as repellent effects on ticks and mosquitoes. And we found a series of products that work very well, and we're now having them manufactured for us exclusively for Pure Solutions.
So
it's the product's actually called Progea, and the active ingredients in the formulation are thyme oil and wintergreen.
Really?
Yep, and they have you know, a combination. Very good. Yeah, very good efficacy when it comes to.
So could we just get like a little thyme oil and put it together, maybe in a squirt bottle with some wintergreen, and put it on ourselves and our pets? Wouldn't that work?
Yeah, you know, we're working on trying to do something for pets. Eventually, kind of create a formula for topicals, even for humans. But right now, it's a little bit of an irritant when you spray it on yourself, because it is, you know, the wintergreen's kind of like a, I don't know, like a icy hot type of reaction. So it's a little bit, you know, tingles at times. And it's not really the most pleasant.
Like peppermint shampoo or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we kind of, right now, you know, we're just sticking to the property sprays. But yes, in the concentrations that we're using, you know, we're not killing any of the beneficial insects, you know, the butterflies, the bees, you know, which is really important for us. And, you know, asking the question, can you mix some together and kind of make up your own formulation? You can. What really kind of allows us to get the best control is the commercial grade equipment that we use. You know, we're using heavy-duty backpack blower sprayers that deliver the product through wind, or you know, the you know, wind that comes out of the blower, and that kind of billows the spray in a really atomized solution back in.
So we saw that on a video recently. It's about 2 minutes long, and we'll show that to you right now if we can cue in the 2-minute video. That'll explain and show you what it's like to be in your own backyard having this all-natural remedy take care of mosquitoes and ticks for you.
Typically when we show up at a house to do the estimate, we're going to survey the land and get a really good idea of what we're up against. We want to be in and out. We want to make sure that we assess the property, see what we're up against, look at the landscaping. Obviously, we want to be very careful of any plants in bloom. A homeowner like this can put thousands and thousands of dollars in towards a landscape, and for us to come in, we need to be very careful not to destroy that. So that's part of that strategic plan what we talk about before each application, making sure that we're protecting the homeowner's investment and making sure that the product's being applied properly.
The type of equipment we use is also super important. Based on the terrain of each property and the circumstances, we can use anything from the skid sprayer, or maybe the ATV will be a better form.
On this property, there's a koi pond. We kind of sprayed over that pond, and there was no need to worry about, affecting the fish in the pond or any frogs that are in the pond, as well as the foliage there. So, it's really nice to be able to wake up every morning, Brian and I going out to work doing estimates and knowing that there isn't a major or negative impact on the environment, but yet a positive impact on the environment, and that's really, really important. The other thing too is the smell of the product. There's a real pleasant odor to the product. It's kind of a minty, fresh smell that lingers for anywhere between a couple hours to more. No longer than 12 hours will it linger. But it can be a good thing for us too, because people will come home and they'll smell the minty, fresh scent, and they'll be like, "Oh, Pure was here today. That's great."
Just because chemicals are on shelves at local garden centers, hardware stores, grocery stores, doesn't necessarily mean they're safe for us. Please make wise decisions for yourself and your loved ones and your guests coming into your property and your homes. And seek alternatives, because the less impact we have, the better. So I want to chat with you, Rory, about what it is that is what you're offering here on the Cape. Do you find that some of these solutions might be different because maybe we're in a salty environment, or there's different vegetation around here? It's stuff that you can probably alter and work with, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, by us being organic, we're actually allowed to get into a lot of spots where a lot of people can't, so to speak, when they're using pesticides and insecticides. There's conservation lands to deal with, salt marsh areas, runoff of everything. So it's really, I really encourage people to be proactive about knowing what people are putting down on your lawn. And as it turns out, our product being super effective and people being really happy with it, it actually, it's a really good feeling to know that you can produce something and provide a product for somebody and really, affect their lives in a positive way.
Yeah, and you guys have a really cool system too, where if somebody calls your number, you can zone in through maps or something, and then get right to their property to take measurements.
Yes, absolutely. So we don't necessarily have to go out, take an hour-and-a-half drive to your property, and waste all that gas. And
just to give a quote, right?
Just to give a quote, yeah. We can bring up your property. We use like a geo-mapping tool, sort of like what Google Maps would use, but we can zero in on your property and kind of assess it, and then give you what we try to think is an affordable price range for the property. So, yeah.
And trust me, they're a lot cheaper than I expected. I've met them last year and been playing around with them for a year with my personal clients. I'm a land care provider for 22 years here on the Cape. I'm a designer, and I've been using all sorts of fun things. We got lavender. Actually, let me show you a little bit of what I've been working with, which works, but you have to times so much, So check this out. This is a little geranium. And geranium's got a citronella scent. I'm sure we're all familiar with the citronella candles and stuff. So you want to rub it, and you get the oils, and it's about the scent that deters these insects. It smells great, I have to say. It's almost like a lemony scent, like citronella is. And so you can plant these geraniums, you can plant lemongrass, you can plant lavenders, you know, around your favorite patio where you're going to be sitting at night when you're cooking your burgers with your guests on weekends. I mean, you can do this, have this forethought with land design, which is what I've been working with in the past. And like I say, it works, but you got to kind of keep it active. You got to, you know, I tell the clients, just swing by your plant every hour and just, you know, give it a squirt and, you know, do one of these, and it definitely, you know, it helps. But there are now actually scientifically tested and proven results, and that's why I really wanted to talk to everybody about, you know, the fact that it's easy, it's really less expensive than I expected. Do figure out what works best for you, and again, so we have you know, nature has cycles of time, right? Windows of opportunity is what I always explain to my clients.
Yeah.
And so there's a time to spray and a time not to spray. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when the ticks are not active, it was below freezing, you know, and mosquitoes will have different cycles as well. So, you know, we try to keep up with the activity of what's going on with both of them, and we, you know,
And then there's a window of opportunity of every couple of weeks before the eggs are laid again, or something.
Yeah. Well, we repeat our sprays every 3 weeks, and that's the efficacy of our particular product. So that'll have the lasting effect up to the 3 weeks, like a 21-day cycle. So we come back on your property every 21 days, and
yeah, and part of that is too, you know, as the product's organic, you know, it does biodegrade on the property. It doesn't last as long as the synthetic competitors. So you do have, you know, with sun exposure and, you know, rain and water and whatnot, you do have this biodegrading that's happening. So like Rory's saying, you have about 3 weeks, 21 days worth of control on the property, and, you know, for best results, given, you know, average amounts of rain and sun exposure. So
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so we try and, you know, stay up on it and, you know, start, you know, get a good jump start in the early spring once the snow cover is melted, and you know, that's the best time to hop on to try and control the ticks at that point. But late into the fall as well is a very important time to be spraying for ticks, because you try and get whatever's on your property controlled before they go dormant and overwinter, and then, you know, that second year when they come back in and warm back up and come back to life, that's when they're looking to lay their eggs. So it's definitely important to.
And do you guys play with anything else? Mosquitoes, ticks?
We do deer.
Deer.
Yeah, we do. We have an all-natural deer deterrent for your property. It's applied the same way with the same equipment. It's also, you know, again, all natural, but we target specific plants around your property to keep the deer from eating and damaging those plants. You know, it's a big investment, landscaping, but it also, you know, as you kind of deter deer from eating those plants, they start to realize that there's no more, you know, good food source on that particular property. So they'll actually start to avoid your property altogether, and if you can keep them off, then you can, in theory, keep the ticks away.
When are you guys gonna play with fleas? That's what I want.
Yeah.
They're all pets, and they come into our home, you know. So
somewhere down the pipeline, hopefully.
That's right.
Yeah, it's on the to-do list.
Well, you know, there is some beneficial, some kind of added benefit of the product that we use does actually kill fleas as well, but it's, you know, we're not out there for that specific control reason. It's just kind of an added benefit of the spray. So if you do have flea issues on the property, lots of times, lots of our clients have seen that problem dissipate.
What if it rains a lot? Like we have this springtime, you know, we always have this saying, right? April showers bring May flowers.
Right.
There's 3 weeks of rain. I mean, how does that, do you guys take that in consideration, and all of a sudden the 3-week interval turns into something else?
Yeah. Well, the product that we use, it has an emulsifier in it that kind of combines with water, and it has like a sticking agent, so to speak. So when you do lay it down and it has a chance to dry, then you will still get the efficacy of it. So it works out. We always try to stay up. We'll never spray when it's raining or anything like that. But for the most part, it is pretty effective throughout. I mean, we haven't had any problems with it as far as that's concerned, as far as too much rainfall. But
yeah, not this year anyhow. A couple years back, we did have a June. I think that was just a complete wash. But you know, it is tough. It's more of a logistical issue on our end, trying to schedule everybody in, you know, for a whole month into like a short couple of days. But you know, we work really hard to try and get it done. We got a great group of guys and gals that help us out, and you know, that run.
Do you educate homeowners, like if they have I don't know, bird baths or something, you know, here they are trying to deter mosquitoes, and they have mosquito egg farms they are naturally growing, and they don't realize it, you know, so there's a lot of that education going into it.
Absolutely. Every one of our field technicians that goes out and sprays is well versed in all of that, and you know, to stay up with changing out the water, you know, so the larval state doesn't stay in there. But some of the properties will have standing water that they have to have. We do organic water treatments as well as a part of controlling the property. So
interesting.
Yeah,
I think it's really neat that you guys are allowed to go a little bit closer to water areas, water sources through conservation, you know, commissions and stuff. That's a big deal.
It is.
It's a really big deal. So you guys are allowed in areas other companies aren't.
Yes.
You know, because you're all natural.
Right.
See how neat this is? I don't know. I just, it tickled me. I was like, yes, about time. How long have you guys been doing this?
It's the second season on the Cape.
Yep.
On the Cape.
And then for us up,
for you guys,
we started in at the earliest stage in 2005, and really kind of built it out over you know, the course of the last several years. You know, 2007 is really when we started to get rolling. So
you tested it off Cape. Broke them in over the fridge, which is good because we have an aquifer. So we have other things to think about too around here. You know, we're going to end up drinking whatever goes down our drains, whatever gets into our lawns. You know, it's up to us to kind of be the, you know, the stewards of this land. And I really think your dollar is your vote. Whatever you choose to purchase, whether it's on Cape or off Cape, you know, you're introducing it to our beloved home here, you know. So I think the impact that we could have on a whole, if we all just, you know, got outside of the comfort zone of our usual habits and retrained ourselves, perhaps. I don't want to say that in a nice way, retraining, but you know, we have habits. It's the way it is, you know. We got to kind of shift our ways and realize that there are neat companies like this going on, and they're readily available. They're cheap enough, worth a phone call anyway, and in a couple days they don't have to come to your house. They'll give you an estimate. And they said earlier, if you mentioned that you saw it on the show, maybe they'll come to my place. Don't hesitate to say that too. So you guys have anything else to add to this? What are we missing?
No, I think that covered a lot of it. A lot of what we do, we always try to stay green as much as possible. So when we do our estimates, we'll send them over via email.
Nice.
The water that we use for our products, we actually use in a rainfall catch system on our shop and our offices that we have located different areas. So the water is collected from our rainfall catch system and then diluted down with our product.
Yeah, which is fantastic. I mean, we've been so fortunate. You know, over the last several years, we've completed all of our services and delivered all of our services with the use of rainwater only, and we haven't used any of the, you know, natural drinking, you know, water resources, you know, town resources, which has been, I think that's been pretty awesome for us. So I'm excited about that.
Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you guys and all the work that you've done to do the research and bring it to Cape Cod and let it be readily available to us all. I think that's just huge.
Our pleasure.
So this is the neat sign that can go on your lawn.
That's right.
I'm looking forward to it on my lawn this year. So again, please do all you can to lessen your impact on our drinking water. And it starts today with everything that you buy. Thanks for joining us today. We're from POCCA, Cape Cod. This is LCTV. I'm Laura Kelly. Tune in again. Be well.